So some things are coming to me lately, and how do I piece it together? Like, I'm remembering all this stuff from childhood, and there's a lot I don't even have of both of my parents' history, like their stories or their childhood. They didn't talk about it that much, except for like my dad talked about the good times, my mom talked about like the traumatic things that she went through. I mean, some of both, but they didn't talk much about it. So anyway, I'm remembering how like my parents like constructed this house together. Like, they had this little tiny house we first were, and then I still remember watching that. Like, they tore it down, they demolished it, or I'm not sure what the word is they use for that, and rebuilt it from the ground up. And it was huge, it was beautiful, freaking beautiful house. And we had this lady that would like babysit sometimes, and she came and like helped my mom clean the house, and it was a big house on the bay. And I mean, I'm sure that it was mostly my dad, because once my mom was worked a little bit in the beginning, but then they had 3 kids close together, so at some point she quit working. So but like we had all these different babysitters and at different times, and my mom was a stay-at-home mom, so she pretty much, did the whole school thing, shuffled us around with like extracurriculars, and she was definitely like very hands-on in a lot of ways. But we played outside a lot. I remember that like vividly, because on weekends my dad would take us in the boat. Anyways, like I always held those stories of like we were like, I mean, like, it's weird to me even thinking about that now, because it's like we're still living in such a similar place, but like how it's like, it's always the rich people that live on the water. I mean, that's a known, and they got like that back then, that lot that they had was like, they got some kind of deal on it. But, and I think a lot of times building your own house is, sometimes you can save money. I don't know. I think it just depends, but, that's expensive to do. So, and then I'm just thinking about, like, it's not about, because I know my mom had she went through some crazy things in her childhood, and she always wanted to be a mom. So I know that they wanted to give us like this beautiful upbringing, and like my mom we lived out, and now I see it as kind of weird, but like we lived out in a place that was like, we didn't have a lot of neighbors, because my mom didn't want us like being in a neighborhood where all the other kids were. Obviously she had some traumatic stories like that, because she had a weird relationship, because my situation is very different. Like, we have, which ironically our neighbors homeschool, so, but they're all great kids. Like, they're not, and they're young too. They're around, some of them are younger than Teddy, and they're around his age. But, and like she wouldn't let us stay over with kids until later, and I don't know. So, it's weird thinking about it, and then thinking about like how I've felt so much guilt and all this, like, felt so bad about the situation of like coming home and feeling like I feel it all the time, like that I'm this burden to my family, instead of it feeling like, they wanted to help, and they wanted to be a part of Teddy's life, and they wanted to support. And I never wanted to be in a situation where I was so dependent on them financially. Like, that was never a situation that I wanted to get stuck in. So I know that can be annoying or frustrating, or I understand all of that. That looks like my ex. That wasn't him. He drives a black truck. I swear, y'all, if there's people that do stuff like that, like drive by your house, I hope those stories are not true. But then I'm like, I've figured out and had done all this stuff to like take everything on myself as like a single parent, and it's like, it's just so weird, because it's like, I feel like it still feels like that, the story of like being punished. It's like I walked away from the man that I wasn't in love with, and I knew that our relationship was going downhill and it was only going to get worse, and I didn't want to put my child through it. And it's like, I feel like since then it's been this story of being punished for that. And I don't want to say that and like say the wrong thing, but I don't know. I just need to speak this because it's like sometimes you're just like, why is it so crazy and so hard? And why does my family want to like fight me? I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know who anybody is on all of these accounts, because I try so hard, my hardest to detach, even though some of the blows do affect me. Because I'm like on top of everything dealing with that, and just wanting to like make enough money to get by. I mean, it's wild. It's wild to me. It's like, it always comes full circle to feeling like my weakness, my vulnerability is being used against me, and my becoming resourceful is being used against me. And it's like, it's kind of like is what it is, because it's like I do only have so much time and energy to give. And like there is that situation that like single parents are in, but it's like, why has it been so hard to have a support system that could help me to move forward and to be able to be on my feet and for us to live on our own. There was another point I was gonna make about that. Oh, because that today that hit me of that, like, why? Because there's been some people, and I've get hits of like who they are, but I don't like making assumptions. But I'm like, why are these the people commenting, you know, being supportive, and like even saying there's that bossy always will be something that kind of bothers, not all the time though. That's the thing, is like for me it's like, if we've created this safe space and we're friends or whatever it is, like, and we have this relationship, and you want to like tell me what time it is, or you want to like be like, yo, you know, like be bossy to me, then it doesn't bother me. But I don't like when people do it that like I don't know who you are, and that's a personal thing for sure. But still, I'm like, okay, why is it like some of them have been really painful, and I'm like, why is this so painful? And it's like there's something with the men doing things. It's something about, it's funny because there's this part of me that I'm like, I'm trying to like not be petty about it, because I'm like, am I being petty? But it's like there's something about men, a woman, like for me, like setting a boundary, and then a man still bulldozing that, or still like for whatever reason, because he's like, I just have to be supportive to this person. I don't know, you get it in your head that like that's what you're supposed to do or something. But even if I've been like, hey, back off. And so it's like over time, those little things, and it goes both ways, because it's like the little things are what make a woman fall in love too. So it's like if you know, shower her with affection, and like the way that she like, you know, the way that she likes, and like, you know, you just do little things, you do little acts of service, like you know, washing dishes, like all these little things, like things that are thoughtful, you know, like those are the things that make a woman fall in love usually, because it's like it makes her feel special. So, and she knows that you're considering her and all of that. So and appreciate it. So it's like the opposite when a man continues to like, or person or whoever continues to like bulldoze your boundaries, or Mama, can you think? Yep. Kind of go against your wishes. And I've got to get us home. Yeah, that was all. I'm gonna wrap it up. I was like, that hit me this morning, that I was like, it's something with that with them, because I used to be that same girl that fell in love between her ears when the guy would say the right thing, and that kind of thing. And I think that still tugs at a woman's heart sometimes, especially if you know something that she likes, and you know, are sweet to her in that way or whatever. But like there's so much of that now that it's like seeing men say things and not back it up with their action. It's like, there's something about that that's just so painful, because it's just like, then your word, it's like slowly she loses respect for you, because it's like the trust is being broken, and she starts to not respect you, because it's like, okay, well, you're not listening, you're not respecting what I'm asking of you, you're not really listening. There's no reciprocation. It becomes this very selfish kind of thing. So I don't have the answers for the guys. Okay, I'm gonna stop because I gotta get him inside. I'm drifting off now.